Today is the 5th of February 2009. We are in Ballston Spa at the Saratoga County Veterans Transitional Home. My name is Wayne Clark. And sir, for the record, would you please state your full name and your date and place of birth?
Bernard John Hennessey, Jr., born July 24th, 1973, Troy, New York.
Okay. And did you attend school in Troy?
Elementary school for a couple of years, yes.
Okay. And did you enter the service from Troy? Or?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you graduated from high school in Troy?
I graduated high school in Waterville.
Waterville, okay. All right. And what year did you graduate?
In 1991.
Okay. And once you graduated from high school, did you go right into the service?
No, I spent 2 months. I went into service in September, so 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Okay. And I see you picked the Marine Corps. Any reason why you picked the Marines?
No.
Okay. Did you have any family members that were in the service
No.
at all?
Well, my grandfather, he was in the Army. But I just liked the Marines.
Okay. All right. And whereabouts did you go for your basic training?
Paris Island.
Okay. Was that your first time away from home?
Yes.
Okay. What was Paris Island like? Was it a shock?
It was a culture shock, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. And how long were you there for?
3 months.
Okay.
That's how long the basic training is.
Mm-hmm.
Then after basic training, we went to our schooling, which was in Fort Lee, Virginia.
Okay. Now, what kind of schooling was that?
Boat fuel refueling school.
Okay. Now, did you pick that school, or did the Marine Corps pick that for you?
When I went through and did the ASVAB, I was able to pick 3 schools that I wanted to go to,
Mm-hmm.
and that was one of them. So
Okay.
I was happy that I got that.
Okay. And what was that training like?
It was a mixture between the Marine Corps standards and the Army standards, because we were on an Army base.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Okay. Did you have more freedom there than you did in basic training?
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And what was your typical training day like?
Wake up, do our physical training, go to school, go to school for, I say probably until 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back to the barracks, and then we were able to be released from there.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to the gym, we could go to the mall.
Okay.
We actually had a lot more freedom.
Okay. And so what MOS did you end up with?
It ended up being, the MOS was called 1391, which is a boat fuel specialist.
Okay. All right. And how long was that schooling for?
8 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
It was 2 months.
Okay. And did you learn about all different types of fuels, or specifically just one?
All different types. There are flash points, the vehicles that carry them, their smells, their odors,
Mm-hmm.
just the expansion for how much fuel's in one of the tankers, to leave a little bit for ventilation purposes,
Mm-hmm.
and all the systems that they go through that we can that we make.
Okay. All right. And whereabouts did you go after your training?
After my training, I was shipped overseas to Iwakuni, Japan.
Okay. And obviously that was a Marine Corps base there?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And when was that, approximately?
Approximately March of '92.
Okay. All right. And what was the weather like there when you arrived?
When I arrived, it was spring, It was warm. It wasn't humid, but it was warm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And what was it like there? What was your daily routine like?
The daily routine was get up, do our physical training, do whatever the platoon sergeant wanted us to do. And then we'd get dressed, go over to what was called the hot pits, the refueling pits.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd sit there and wait for the aircraft to come in.
Okay. Did that keep you pretty busy?
Yeah, it was a good. It had a good turnaround rate.
Mm-hmm.
But if we weren't busy, we were doing classes, or if it was, we could actually play a little bit of football if we wanted to. We had a little open area. We could play football if we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It was a nice experience.
Did you have much contact with the Japanese people?
Only when we went off base, or
Mm-hmm.
they came on base to the enlisted clubs.
Okay. Okay. All right. And how long were you there for?
1 year.
1 year. Okay. And when your year was up, where were you shipped to next?
California.
Okay.
Camp Pendleton.
All right. And how long were you at Pendleton?
5.5 years.
Oh, 5.5 years.
Yes.
Okay. All right. And did you basically do the same thing at Pendleton?
Not with the aircraft refueling side. I was more with the ground side then. The ground side is the wheeled vehicles, like
Mhm.
5 tons, Humvees, anything that had wheels or wouldn't move. They brought it over to us.
Okay. So you work refueling the vehicles or onto the vehicles, or?
The operating procedure for refueling vehicles, everybody has to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
So we would get I'd say we get deployed to like 29 Palms or even up to Bridgeport, and I'd have to be out there refueling,
Okay. Okay.
making sure that people were safe.
Okay. So you weren't operating a fuel truck per se.
We did operate those too, yes.
Okay. All right. And you did that for about 5 years?
Yes.
Okay. And at the end of that, was there any thing out of the ordinary during that period of time? Did you TDY any place?
I went out on ship for 6 months,
Oh, okay.
which I had Persian Gulf, UAE, Somalia, again,
Mm-hmm.
Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Israel. It's just
Okay.
It's called a Westpac.
Okay. You hit all those places in a 6-month period.
Yes.
Okay. Was there anything going on in Somalia at that time?
No.
Okay. So all was basically pretty quiet in all the ports.
Except for when we went into the Persian Gulf. That's when Israel was getting threatened again.
Okay. And I see you've got Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Was that after that?
That was before I was with when I was in Japan.
Uh-huh.
They asked for volunteers to go over there, and I was like, I'll volunteer.
Okay. All right. Did you were you under attack or fire at all while you were over there?
Saw some combat, but it was like maybe, which I thought would be 5 minutes. It was probably about 30 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple shots near me.
Okay.
That was about it.
Okay. And how long were you involved with Desert Storm and Desert Shield?
3 months.
3 months. Okay. All right. And at the end of that time, you went back to Pendleton?
Back to Japan. I went back to Japan.
Japan.
Finished off my year, and then I went to California.
Okay. All right. After your time in California, Were you discharged from there?
Discharged, yes, I was discharged from Camp Pendleton.
Okay. All right. And at what rank were you at that point?
A corporal, E4.
Okay. All right. And I see you spent, was it 8 years in the
Marines, yes.
Marines? Okay. Any particular reason why you decided to get out and not make it a career?
I was trying to make it a career. They told me I didn't make the grade for
Okay.
it being 8 years in.
Okay. All right. And during that your time in service, what were your officers and supervisors like?
They were a great bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
They listened to people that had the experience, and if you didn't have the experience, you learned from them. They were always looking out for everybody except for themselves. And it was just, they were a great bunch of guys.
Okay. All right. Okay. And you mentioned a Mathew Ridgeway in here?
Yeah, that was one of my guys. That was one of the guys I actually had a good amount in common with him.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Lost track of him since we went our separate ways from when I got back from Okinawa in '96.
Okay.
No, '97 I got back from Okinawa.
Okay. Did you, once you got out, did you maintain contact with any of the people you were in the service with?
I'd stop in every once in a while back on Pendleton since I was right there near it and talk with a couple of buddies.
Okay. So once you were discharged from Pendleton, you stayed in that area for a
Yes.
while?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do in civilian life out there?
Tow truck driver, mechanic, anything and everything possible if I could.
Mm-hmm. How long did you stay out in California once you were discharged?
Let's see, 8 years,
Okay.
9 years, 9 years.
Okay. And what made you come back to New York? Family?
Family.
Okay. All right. While you were out in California, did you get married or?
Yes, I was married. I had 2 beautiful girls with the lady,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have 1 daughter that I don't even see.
Okay. All right. And did you join any veterans organizations at all?
No, not over there.
Okay. Okay. How about back here in the New York area? Did you join the VFW or the Legion or?
No.
Okay.
Well, not yet.
Okay. All right. After you were discharged, have you made any use of the GI Bill at all? Did you go back to school or?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I was thinking about it up in Washington County, but the college up there wasn't giving me what I would like to do, so.
Okay. All right. And how long have you been involved in the program here in Ballston Spa?
Since the 29th
Okay.
of January.
Okay. All right. Is there anything that we haven't touched on? Anything that you'd like to add to the interview?
No.
Okay. All right. Are you receiving any sort of training now for occupationally at all?
No.
Okay.
Just put myself out there to, I could do almost anything, so.
Okay. All right. While you were in service, especially with all the traveling you had done and all the countries you visited, did you suffer from any sort of illnesses or injuries? Any kind of tropical diseases?
No.
Anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. And I think that pretty much covers everything, unless there's anything you'd like to add.
No.
Okay. Let me just ask you in closing, How do you think your time in the military changed or affected your life?
Well, it affected my life and changed me to where I was more disciplined. I was able to think a lot more in depth of what I wanted to do, how I was supposed to do it, what tools I needed, if I needed to use tools, instead of going, oh, I forgot, oh, I didn't know I needed that, and just waste more time running back and forth to a truck or finding the tools. Okay, this is what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
These are tools I need. Try and bring everything in one shot where I could get the job done and taken care of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I'd say it probably disciplined me a lot better than when I was growing up.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your interview, and thank you for your service.